Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking a bit about the Codebreaker stuff and how there's a perfect engine for any combo deck really, and how it just turns any two effect monsters into potentially three negates, including a Dragoon, which is absolutely absurd. So usually you just go straight into Verte Anaconda, but you can do some even crazier stuff than that. So right here, I'm just going to show you a Goki hand where you know how Gokis go. They're kind of being introduced into the meta, but I'm just going to go straight to it. You're going to be searching some stuff off your Assault and your Headbat, but now you're going to go ahead, use Assault, summon stuff. You go into an Appaloosa for 3, searching a rematch, and then you can just go ahead, activate rematch, bring back some stuff. You go into Link Rebo, then this is where your Codebreaker stuff comes in. Uh, now you went now in case you don't know how the code breakers work, right there I had two effect monsters, Link Rebo and Headbutt. Sorry if that was going really fast. But Code Breaker Fire Swordsman, when this card is special summoned, if it's co-linked, and since Appaloosa does have a down arrow, it's more than likely to be co-linked. You can go ahead and summon one Codebreaker 0 day from your deck. Its effect isn't really relevant, it's more just kind of like a brick, but it's from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is actually really cool. And it doesn't have it has a second effect, but you'd never really use the second effect that much. But once you summon those two, you want to go into your next Codebreaker monster, Codebreaker Virus Berserker. When this card is summoned, special summon while it's co-linked, you can summon up to any number of your Codebreaker monsters so that they're pointed to by a link monster. So you can just do some fancy stuff there too. You're just going to be summoning back your Virus Day and Zero thing. But now we're going to link off this Virus Berserker into a link cross. The reason why we're linking off Virus Berserker specifically is because we do need a link to Dark Monster for a Rusty Bardiche later. That's why we're running Rusty Bardiche. Now we're going to go ahead summon Link Reba using one of those tokens, and now we can go into a Rusty Bardiche. You should know where this is going. We're going to go ahead and use Rusty's effect, dumping Ancient Cloak, setting a Shade Brigandine. It usually says Fogblade, but now we're just going to go into some even crazier combos. We're going to be searching a copy of Silent Boots. Now we're going to go ahead, activate Silent Boots, and summon itself. Well, it's not going to... Well, first we'll use our Shade Brigandine, really, and then we'll overlay it and 0 day, since it is a level 4 monster, in order to go into a copy of Abyss Dweller. Now you can go ahead, go summon out your Silent Boots, and now you can go link into Verte Anaconda. Now you know we're gonna go ahead, use Verte Anaconda, dump some cards, and go into the fabled, well, not fabled, but the boss monster of Legend, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So right here we're going to use Silent Boots Graveyard effect because we have it in Graveyard, where it says you can banish it in order to search any Phantom Knight spell or trap. So you're going to be searching Phantom Knight's Fogblade, and you will set it. So right here we're just going to, we'll also add a Phoenix Blade to our hand just as a discard for our Dragoon. And then during our opponent's turn, we're going to go ahead summon Link Rebo, just for a bit of battle protection in case they try an attack over the Appaloosa using something like a, say like a Pancratops or something. Then Link Rebo is just kind of a good way to get rid of it. So right here, let us see what we have right here. 3 negates of Appaloosa, 1 negate off our Abyss Dweller, 1 negate off our Anaconda, not Anaconda, Dragoon, and 1 negate off our Fogblade. So that is 6 negates right there off just one card. Well, it's actually off 2 cards, but I'm just saying it was 0.5 a card and 0.5 a card, so I just added up to be 1 card. So you basically have 6 negates right here just because you were able to get 2 effect monsters. So you turned 2 monsters into 3 negates, which is kind of what you're going to try and do with your Codebreaker stuff, which is pretty insane. So let's go to another test hand I pulled up right here. So right here I have a Pendulum hand. That's right. We have opened kind of a Garnet Brick ish card, Artifact Scythe. But this is coming straight out of Triff's Pendulum Magician video, and we are making stonks out of the Codebreaker engine here too. So what we're going to do, we really do need the harmonizing and the chronograph. So we're going to start off by scaling the chronograph using its effect to pop itself. Since it's an extender, we can just get an extra monster on the field. So we're going to be summoning copy of Time Gazer Magician. And now, once that time gazer magician is summoned, oh, whoops, that was an accident. Um, Sorry, the frame rate of my laptop is not the best. So we're gonna go ahead and activate the star pendulum graph. We're gonna normal summon the harmonizing. We are going to then go into a copy. Sorry, I'm not too used to playing pendulum, so I always accidentally click go to graveyard. But we are going to be going into everybody's favorite card, Crystron Halki Fibrax. Um, Now, the star pendulum graph will trigger because a magician pendulum monster left the field, so you can chain block the Hulk Fibrax and you will be able to search a copy of your um, double iris magician. So that's pretty nice. You're going to be searching double iris and you're going to be summoning the best tuner monster of the best deck, tuning magician. Now we can go ahead go into sorry, we won't go straight into a Celine because we don't have any spells or traps. First, we want to go ahead set our scales of Oath Dragon and the Double Iris, so we'll go ahead do that. And now since you have 3 spells, now you can go ahead and go into your Celine. And now Celine will have the ability to summon a monster from the graveyard. So you're going to be summoning the Tuning Magician back. And what you're going to do now is now you can go into a Link Cross for 3. That's pretty nice. So you're going to be summoning the Link Cross. And you're going to get 3 tokens, which you're not going to see too often, along with the tuner monster that can just bring itself back for free. Now we are going to go into a copy of your Formula Synchron. Now this should start to look a little familiar, shouldn't it? And we're going to go ahead, draw a card. Now we can go into a copy of Metal Marcher. And Metal Marcher will trigger summoning the Formula Synchron pack. We're summoning Formula Synchron specifically because we do need the level 2 tuner so that we can go into Cyberse Integrator. And now once you summon Cyberse Integrator, you can now go into another synchro called Stardust Charge Warrior. Now when Cyberse Integrator is sent to graveyard, you get to draw 1, and when Stardust Charge Warrior is synchro summoned, you can draw 1. So you're going to get to draw 2. That's nice, isn't it? So now we're going to go into a copy of Dagda, an artifact Dagda. So usually you would be setting the copy of your copy of Scythe in your hand, but unfortunately since you hard drew it, you do have to deal with some problems. So now first off we'll trigger our Allure of Darkness. We'll see if we can find anything off the top. We don't really need second harmonizing, so we can just banish that right there. And then you can also go ahead, go use an upstart, which will let you draw a card. And Celestial Magician's a nice one. So usually what you would do, you're going to use the graveyard effect of Tuning Magician, which can go ahead bring itself back. And now you can pendulum summon out some cards. You're going to be summoning out the Celestial Magician. That should definitely not go to the point zone where Dagda points to, because you do need that for your extra deck monsters. We're going to be summoning a copy of your harmonizing, and you will also be summoning your chronograph. So that is really nice. You can use the effect of your harmonizing magician. Since it was pendulum summoned, you can go ahead and summon another pendulum monster from your deck. So the card I usually just like to go for is Purple Poison. That's pretty decent. You can also use Celestial Magician's effect right here to net yourself an extra search during the end phase. So now you can overlay into a copy of Tornado Dragon, a personal favorite of mine. And now you're going to go ahead, use Tornado Dragon's effect, detach 1 and destroy Double Iris. And now you're going to go ahead, use Double Iris's effect in order to go ahead and just get even more searches. You're going to go ahead and get a search for Chronograph. And yeah, that's nice. So we can also go into a copy of your Celine, second copy of Celine actually. We only do run two because you're not going to be looping the Celines like you do in the Endymion variant. Um, as you see, I was kind of a little forgetful and did forget to bring my Appaloosa, but I guess that's fine. So now we can go ahead and use the Celine um, in order to bring back the Harmonizing Magician, and you can also just go into a well I always forget that that should not go to the graveyard and that should go to the extra deck. It's just a very easy thing to forget. You're gonna go into your copy of Savage Dragon, and Savage Dragon will go ahead and equip your copy of Dagda, which will give it 1500. It's tied with Halki Fibrax. Actually no, not Dagda. I forgot I have the second Celine in my graveyard, so definitely do equip that because it gives you 3 counters. So you do get your 3 counters right here. And now this is where your Magician's Souls comes up, where well, it should get 3 counters. Now this is where your Magician's Souls will come up, where you can summon it, and then you can go ahead dump a free monster. So we will be dumping a copy of Jackal King. I just like to dump Jackal King honestly, in case you're ever going to go into another Celine. And since you have the 2 monsters, you can go into some Codebreaker stuff. That's why we are putting in Codebreakers everywhere. We're gonna go ahead and go into the 0 day. We can go ahead summon. Actually, we're summoning Virus Swordsman, and we're going to be summoning the 0 day from our deck. Next, we can go ahead, go into a Virus Berserker, and now Virus Berserker will summon some more stuff. As you can see, the extra deck is very incomplete actually, because I did have to make this in a bit of a hurry. So we're gonna be summoning some things, and right here, since I did forget to put in my Appaloosa, you can go ahead make an Appaloosa. So you'll be able to make an Appaloosa for 4 right here. You'll also be able to set the Time Pendulum Graph and the Artifact Sight. So you're gonna be able to set those 2 too. Actually, with the Magician Souls on field, you should have gone ahead and sent that Star Pendulum Graph to your graveyard to draw another card. So that was a bit of a mistake I did. But right here with the Appaloosa for 4, you would have 4 negates of Appaloosa, 1 negate of Savage, 1 pop of your Time Pendulum Graph. So that's 6 negates so far, and you're gonna get the popper side. So 6 negates and an extra deck lock is pretty broken by itself. If you in case you wanted to do some more things, I don't think we would have been able to fit a Rusty right here, since our spell and trap zones are kind of clogged, which is the main reason why I didn't put in Rusty. But just having the ability to make a free Appaloosa for 4 just because you were able to get 2 monsters on the field is really not something to just look down on. So this kind of shows the abilities of Codebreakers. I know that it was more of just a pendulum tutorial than a Codebreaker video, but the Codebreakers just make so many things possible. It can make an Appaloosa for 4. It can just turn any 2 random monsters into 3 negates. It's just absolutely absurd. You also have the ability to follow up of Oath Dragon. We were going to be top decking a copy of Wisdom Eye, which could transform into something like anything you really wanted. Just this board is absolutely insane, like all other pendulum boards. So I'm not really going to be showing the deck profiles of these. I just want to show what the Codebreakers were capable of, really. It might be a bit long just to show a 3-card engine, but I think it is justifiable. So that's kind of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, as it really does help the channel. And I guess I'll see you next time. Goodbye.